Hi everyone, just here to bring you another one of my junk journals, and this one is, I've actually remembered my tape measure, so just literally just under 6 by 8, and then again it's massively chunky, kind of just over 4.5 inches at the widest part. So it's made basically from a file folder. It's so therefore a soft cover. Let me just raise my tripod a little bit. A soft cover that then has been basically covered with some scrapbook paper, and then it's also been covered with this vintage lace from my nan's curtains, which has been coffee dyed, and then there's some kind of organza ribbon under here in this pretty pink colour, and then it's got these lace kind of applique bits that I've stuck on there, and then it's got this printable which has been layered up with some vintage thesaurus paper, and it's all just held closed just with this single piece of lace. I quite like having just the lace closure. I think it's quite nice to be able to kind of discard the closure while you're working in your book. So that's quite nice. And I have Mod Podged over the entire cover at the front, so the whole thing is kind of Mod Podged, including the lace and the ribbon and everything, so it's all very robust and yeah, rigid. So that's the front cover. Oh, it's also got a vintage doily there, which hopefully you can kind of see that. So inside this book, and I'm going to call this book Fuschia Fusion, I thought, because it's got lots of this fuchsia coloured napkin decoupage all over it. So I thought Fuschia Fusion is what I'm going to call this one. So on inside the front cover is some thesaurus page. I can't speak today. Thesaurus page, and then there is this vintage sheet music, which has got some decoupage napkin and some vintage lace across the top. It's got a little flower here on the edge, and then it's just got some lace trim and some pearl trim up there. And then it's just got a couple of pull-out tags there with stamped images. Let me just go in like that. And then on the facing page, it's just some scrapbook paper with a little frame there, and some more slightly different vintage lace down the side. Oops. And then on the next page here, let me just raise it a bit more. There is a fold out kind of flap here, or fold out kind of booklet. This is formed just from a coffee dyed envelope, and I've got some decoupage napkin on the front, and that just folds right the way out there to create a little kind of booklet thing. And it's got a butterfly on there. On the facing page it's just plain, it's just got some stamped images in the corner. And then the next page, this just got some stamped images down the bottom. And then on this page it's just got a little tuck spot here, just with some vintage sheet music with the decoupage napkin and some lace trim down the side. And then tucked in there, there's just this kind of coffee stained letter. This is actually out of a kid's book, it's not a vintage book or anything, but I just thought that the style of it went really well with the journal. So that's just got some napkin decoupaged onto it, and it's got this lovely script font on there. Unfortunately it was damaged in the children's book, but I don't mind that. I think that's kind of quite nice. And actually, when you kind of sellotape things up, they go kind of really quite aged, don't they? Quite quickly, the sellotape changes kind of texture and things. On the next page, here I've got a belly band. It's got another kind of belly band on top of it. So in there is this image of this baby in a pram, looking hilarious, I think, how they kind of dressed the babies back then. And just a kind of printable tag there. So they just slot in like that. And then this has got a couple of stamped images there and some lace. And then here on this page it's got a doily and a little printable there in the middle of the doily. Whoops. And then it's just got this printable here, which I've now dropped on the floor and now won't be able to find. No, it's gone under the chair, I'm afraid, so I'll have to pick that up in a moment, I think. Anyway, that just slotted in the back. And this has just got a fold out little booklet here with some more napkin decoupaged onto there, and that just tucks in, oops, like that, there to hold it shut. And then on the next page, this is a pocket here, just folded over the scrapbook paper and obviously glued it down. It's got a frame here, so it's got some vintage lace, and then the frame is acting as a little tuck spot for this little envelope that tucks in like that. And then here I've just made a tag just from some cardstock, and then it's got a little fold down flip in the middle with a little kind of printed image there, and then that's also a pocket here for this little tag. So it just goes in like that and slots in there. So very girly journal this, it's very pink. And then here, this is made from an envelope, this little pocket. So on here it's got another little fold down kind of flip from some coffee stained paper, and that just tucks behind this kind of crest type image, and then it's got a little tag that pulls out, and then on the back of that is another printed image. It's also actually got a little tuck spot here, which kind of something tiny could go in there. That just goes like that. And then here is just kind of a doily that had been cut down. And then here, there's a pocket here, just with the little frame that pulls out. And this pocket has been formed with the vintage sheet music, and it's been decoupaged and then distressed. It's got some lace stitched on the sewing machine, and it's been stitched all around, kind of doubled so it's thicker. And then it's just got some printable with some pattern paper there stuck on there as well. And then here on this next page, this is a vintage lace pocket from, again, those neck curtains. It's got some more lace across there, and then it's got a little tiny bow. And then in there it's got a pocket with an acetate tag there, stamped image, and that just goes in there like that. And then on the back of the tag it's obviously just plain for journaling. And then here on this page I've just got a bit of scrapbook paper that's just been stitched on, actually both sides of the paper, and got some lace trim, so that's like that. And then on this side there's a corner tuck spot at the top, and it's just got a little tag there of this vintage, kind of looks like a church with this little couple, and that's just plain on the back. That just tucks up there, and again another little flip back. And then here some coffee stained paper. Some of this paper actually has slightly got damaged in the coffee staining process. I don't mind that, but I just want to kind of highlight that really. And then on the next page I've got one of those beautiful rose stamps and some lace trim down the bottom. On this side just some stamped corners, and then some more of that doily. And then on this page there is an altered paper clip, whoops, holding this basically sheet music with the napkin and some lace trim. That's all been stitched on the sewing machine, and it's been stitched round onto this cardstock that's all been coffee stained. And inside there is just a little fold out kind of booklet made from kind of the manila envelope kind of paper, and it's got some stamped images on there. So that just tucks like that with the paper clip. Oops. And then on the next page here is a fabric tag which has all been stitched around on the sewing machine, and it's got various different stamped images all stitched on in different fabrics. It's got some little mulberry roses and the word love, and that's just acting as a little tuck spot here for a pull-out tag. That just goes in there. And then on the facing page there's a doily and a printable on some, actually this is a brown paper bag, this here, and that's just forming a pocket here for this little booklet, which again, this is a brown paper bag, and it's just got some coffee stained paper sort of stuck onto there, and a frame and a hot air balloon. And then over the page there is another altered paper clip, and that's holding this giant tag, which again, let me just raise my tripod a little bit more actually. This is one of those big tags that I like to do from, again, more of those like kind of playing card things that I've got and been using. It's got this lovely vintage image from a book that I really enjoy taking the images from, and it's got thesaurus paper and various different things and some lace, and then it's just got some stamped corners, that just paper clips on there. And then here is a little just lace pocket here holding this little tiny booklet. Oops, that just folds out like that. I don't know quite what's happened to my camera, but it seems to have kind of grid lines on the screen here, so I hope that's not going to be how it is when I'm uploading the video. Here on the reverse of this little bit is another one of those images from that same black and white kind of book, and that's just layered onto this thesaurus paper. There's some doily and some lace trim, and that's just forming a little pocket here for a little envelope that just slots in like that. And then on this page, this is just actually the back of an envelope that I have used on the other side. It's just got some lace trim, and actually this is also a tuck spot, but actually there isn't anything in there currently, but obviously you could just tuck that in like that. And this probably is my favourite bit of the book. I just love how this looks. So it's basically an old used envelope, white envelope that I've coffee dyed, and then put some thesaurus paper over, decoupaged the napkin on, and then cut out this building, kind of fussy cut it out and stuck it on. I love how that looks on there. I don't know whether that's just wrong, but I just really love how it looks. And then I've just got some coffee stained vintage lace there down the side, and that obviously just flips out there. This is the centre of the signature. And then here I've just got another paper clip, and that's holding on this kind of Hessian and fabric tag, which has been coffee dyed and got some roses there. And then on the back it's just got some coffee stained paper for journaling. And then on the next page here I've just left it plain. This side it's got a little kind of smaller bit of paper here with a belly band, and that's just got one of those kind of little flip pads that goes in there. And then here I've got a little fold out flap, and then behind there is a pocket, and it's got some greaseproof paper, and then it's just got some vintage lace, and inside there is a little booklet that just tucks in like that. And then over the page there is another pocket. This is using one of those wage envelopes, and it's just got some decoupage napkin on scrapbook paper that's just been glued onto there, and got various lace trims and some pearl trim there, and a little journaling spot. And that's just got one of these big tags that I've made, just with some stamped images and some more decoupage napkin. It's got a doily there behind it. So loads of room in this book for journaling. I tried to keep lots of space because sometimes I can over decorate and then there's no room for journaling, so I've tried not to overdo it in here. Also the book was getting chunkier by the minute, so in the end I had to kind of stop adding things to it. So yeah, that's why. Here I've just got a fold back flap with just a printable, and then it's just got here some more journaling space, and then just some plain paper. Then here I've just got a large pocket with this scrapbook paper. I've just put some vintage lace there down the bottom, and then layered up a couple of flowers there, and then another one of those large tags there that I've made. That just goes in. And then on the facing page, on the following page, is another pocket here using one of those postcard stamped images. Love using those as pockets. So, and then in the corner I've just got another one of those lovely black and white images from a book, and layered up with this little printable, and then it's got a couple of lace kind of wing type wings, lace leaves, sorry, not wings. And then I've just made a little fold out kind of booklet that just contains more coffee stained pages, and that's just layered up on the front. That just slots in like that. Oops. And then on the next page here again is another large tag held on by another altered paperclip. And this tag again is one of those sort of large playing cardy things that are the rocks and mineral ones. And on here it's been covered with coffee stained fabric, and then it's got a printable all stitched on the sewing machine. It's got some lace trim and a lace tab. And then on the back, also stitched on, has been the coffee stained paper. So that's that. And then here on this page, this is just a little pocket, and then it's just got a fold out kind of flap there. It's got some lace, and then just another little tag that slots in like that. And then here there are a couple of little kind of banners up there. They could act as a tuck spot. Again, kind of put something up there. In fact, I might just leave that up there. So this is just some coffee stained paper, fold out. You can just slot up, oops, up there. Then some more doily, and then here, this the other side of that envelope. And there is a layered up cluster as per kind of my Happy Mail and the Jessica wrap inspiration. And that's just got various elements layered up. And then oops, here I've forgotten to put something in there, so I'll just have to put something in there in a minute. And then here on the back of there is a Crafty Irina pocket here, done with the Thesaurus page. It's actually not quite the same as hers. It's kind of got less pockets, but that kind of thing. And that's just got one of those stamped images with some napkin. That's like that. It's got some lace trim down the side and some pearls and bows. Then here on this page I've got a double corner pocket, one with the sheet music, one with the scrapbook paper, and then I've got a little fold out flip kind of booklet. Oops, I must have glued it shut. So again, I won't try and open that while I'm doing my video because I'll tear it, but I will open that. It just unfolds and that will be in there. And then I've just got this picture of all these chaps in the brewery or in the pub in days gone by, and that's just in there. Then on the next page here is another kind of cluster in the corner here, done layered up with various different items. And then I've got a couple of sheets of coffee stained paper, one just with some lace. And then here another little fold back pocket with some more lace trim down the side. Another one of those vintage pattern booklets with some coffee stained paper. That just tucks in like that. And then here finally on the back of the book we've got just some scrapbook paper here, just with a little rose stamped. And here there's just an envelope that folds back there, and it's got some layered up images, it's got some lace trim. And then here in the side is a little fold out flip, and that's got this lovely vintage looking tile that just kind of coordinates nicely with the book itself. So that just tucks into the pocket. And then here there is another slightly different postcard there, stamped image, and that's a pocket there. It's just got one of those spools, thread spools. And then here is some lace trim down here. Excuse my son coming in shouting, sorry he's late. And then I've just got a cluster of items up there in the corner, just to kind of finish it off. So yeah, I hope you like it. Pretty girly, kind of chunky, yeah, really nice journal there. So thanks very much for watching. Enjoy your evening, and yeah, give it a thumbs up if you liked it. So thanks a lot. Cheers, bye.